Hello, it's Gabriela Lira with the Lira Group, and I am here with Ann Hammer from Ann Hammer Law, and she is here to talk to us about a topic that's somewhat taboo, definitely very emotional, but it's a fact of life, and that is divorce, and truly the divorce home is what we're focusing on today. So Ann, you deal with so many divorces every year. Tell us a little bit about how the home where couples are living come into play.
Well, Gabby, it's a touchy subject for all my clients.
Yes.
I'm a divorce lawyer, and my clients, when they're getting divorced, almost always have at least one home. Sometimes there's even more with a vacation home or something to deal with. The market in Nashville has made it so difficult. At first, the market was so difficult because people couldn't find a new place to buy. And they were concerned about leaving a home and where would they go and what could they afford. But now with the switch in the interest rates, we're seeing a totally different fear level, which is what can I buy and how can I afford it now that the interest rates are so high? So the market change has scared everybody, and no one knows who to go to, where to get the answers, how to figure out what the couple's going to do, and if they've got children, where are they going to find a new home that works as a divorce family?
Yeah, so the market definitely poses a lot of challenges, but how do people decide who's going to keep the house, or if anyone's keeping the house, or if they're just selling it?
Well, that's a really good question. And I would say back in the old days, we used to think of the wife would keep the house and live in it with the children. But with the way that parenting time works now, the fathers are getting so much more time, spending so much more time with the children, that they want a house with the same exact amount of bedrooms and same comfort level. So what my clients come in saying is either one of them wants the house and one of them wants a really nice house as well, or they're going to have to sell it because now, as the income situation, obviously, two households are more expensive to run than one. So a lot of times it's a reality check. With my clients, I like to sit them down and talk about their budget, talk about what financially things are going to look like for them. I actually think it would be incredibly helpful for most of them to meet with a realtor before they start making decisions in my court.
Yeah. Can they afford to keep the house? The spouse that wants to keep the house, can they even afford to keep it?
Right, and I think that's a question a lot of my clients, there's one spouse who works and earns most of the money and knows where that money is being spent. And then there's another spouse who perhaps doesn't realize how expensive the upkeep is, how expensive just getting a new mortgage, trying to refinance will be. And that's the biggest challenge we're seeing right now is with refinancing. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we have a young couple in their 30s and they purchased a home for $350,000 when they were both working. Mom decides to quit working because now they're having a bunch of cute little babies, and their house all of a sudden at the time of divorce becomes worth almost $1 million or more.
Wow.
Well, so they can't afford that house anymore. Now mom's not working and the kids are already all established in their nice little school district, but she can't refinance that house under these interest
qualify
rates.
herself.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we do find that the mortgage brokers will work with our clients. If they're getting alimony, they can usually get a bridge loan, and that bridge loan for the 6 months while their alimony comes in.
Kicks in.
Mm-hmm. And then by then most of my clients in that situation are looking for some employment anyway. I think the tricky thing now is if you are going to refinance and the two of you are on a mortgage with a great interest rate, it's really important to negotiate keeping the other party on that mortgage as long as you can so the refinancer can still keep the lower interest rate until we find out what's going to happen.
That's a good idea if the other spouse agrees to do that, because they might want their own home and their debt to income might be too high if they stay on this mortgage.
Right.
So it's always a negotiation. It sounds like it is a case-by-case basis.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so we try to get in with their financial information, but the house in Nashville, for my clients here is almost always the biggest problem.
Yeah, so I had some clients that were in a similar situation. One of them was really emotionally tied to the house. They renovated it. It was to their liking. So one of the parties really wanted to keep it, but the interest rate they were going to get to be able to refinance and take the other party off of the mortgage of the house, the interest rate was too high. So what they found was that it was better to sell the house, and then they each went and found their own home and were able to negotiate with the seller of those new homes a mortgage rate buy down. So they were able to get a much lower rate having the seller buy down the rate for them than they would have if they kept the house they were actually in and try to refi. So that's another option.
That's a great option. I'm glad that you told me about it because it's something that my clients need to know. I feel like we try so hard to help them, not just with their divorce and the legal side of it, but connecting them with the right realtor, connecting them with the right mortgage broker, walking them through all that before we end up in final negotiations so they know what their options are.
Yeah, and it's a team process. When
For
you
sure.
are going through a divorce, you need your entire team with you, giving you the right information so that you make the best decisions. So, and if someone is considering a divorce and they are needing an attorney, how do they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on my website. It's annhamerlaw.com. And I have 2 numbers there, 2 office numbers. They can call me at either of those or email me at those emails. I mean, we are very, very busy right now because it's just a stressful time. Anytime financial
Yes.
markets change, it puts a lot of pressure on families.
Yes, it
Puts a
does.
lot of pressure on marriages. And I'm sure you're seeing it too. The squeeze in the Nashville housing market is just putting everybody under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So-
When the economy's not great, apparently, and I read this stat somewhere, and you probably know whether it's accurate or not, but it says the number one thing that couples really fight about is finances.
Yep.
So when the economy's not great, we are going to see an uptick in divorces, and this conversation that we're having is going to become even more relevant into the next couple of years.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. But I'm glad that you're bringing it up because I think it's so important for people to pre-plan and not just think, I can't stand being with you tonight, I'm leaving, I'm moving in with mom, and I'll see you in divorce court. It doesn't work like that. It takes a lot of planning to get it done right so that you are safe, happy, feel like you've got a good game plan getting out of your marriage and moving on with your life.
And with that, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you need a great divorce attorney, or if you need any advice about refinancing your home, selling your divorce home, please give us a call. You know how to contact us. Thank you so much and have a great day.